Well, the day has come. I'm out of the shed, not working on the 60 Series Lazarus for a little while now. We've got our new touring vehicles finally turned up. Some may say this is the ugliest vehicle ever made. A lot of people will say it's the most overrated and under advanced vehicle on the road, and you still pay a premium price for it. You guessed it, another Landcruiser. Yes, we've done it again. We got ourselves another 79 Series Landcruiser. We really are suckers. The big question now you're probably asking is it a V8 or a 4-cylinder? Let's have a look. So before we find out what's under the bonnet of the new 79 Series, I just want to introduce you guys to the Quick Fit Solar Clip. Really solves the problem of being able to camp in the shade, have your solar panels in the sun. Have a look, and if you're interested, visit our website, smarttouringsystems.com.au. Super smooth. I have no idea how to do this. I haven't even looked at myself. Seriously? No. I really don't know how to hold the bonnet up. There it is. Still no gas struts though. Well, it's obvious now it's the V8. I couldn't bring myself to buying the 4-cylinder automatic. The automatic I would have loved, and arguably the 4-cylinder is more powerful. Well, not arguably, it is. And there's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube already that shows that the 4-cylinder is more powerful, more economical, it's smoother, and obviously with the automatic, it just is a better day-to-day car. You do not buy a 79 Series for any of those reasons, I'm afraid. You buy it because you love the old school shape, the old school mechanical package, and the thing's got a heart and soul like no other new car on the market. And I might sound like a sucker, and I probably am. I just can't get away from the simplicity of driving the manual and the old school VDJ V8 that has been fitted for over 10 years now. Yes, they are underpowered from factory. Who leaves these things standard? Once these are tuned, and I had a very mild tune in my previous Landcruiser, it was an absolute weapon when towing. By all means, they are still not fast, but as far as towing is concerned, we really did love that vehicle, and that's why we stuck to the V8. And also to be a little bit different. Everything out there seems to be a 4-cylinder at the moment. Trusty old V8 will do me every day of the week. It is a little bit different now though. We don't have the bonnet scoop, so we have these air ducts like in the 200 series. It comes in from the front and feeds still a top mount intercooler. I thought I'd miss the bonnet scoop more, and that's why I went and fitted one to the 60 series, so I still had a little bit of 79 bonnet scoop. No, not really. We did that purely for looks and a little bit of a hobby. But the front end of the 79 series, the first time I saw it, I thought, oh, that's a horrible looking car. I freaking love it. We've owned FJ Cruisers before, and no one liked that car back then either because it was so different. I think the point of it is that it's different, and it's very important to be different in a world where everything looks the same, especially for resale value. And when you are investing so much money into a vehicle, resale value is a real key that you have to consider. Most people say they're going to buy something for forever. Forever is literally like 5 years. Think about how many things you've kept for more than 5 years. It's not that often. There are some people out there that do that, but resale needs to be part of the purchase, and you cannot argue with a resale of a 79 Series Landcruiser. So there are reasons to stick with the V8 and the 79 Series platform, and yes, we are probably going to pour a bucket load of money into this thing, but that is also the part of it that I love. Doing up old vehicles like the 60 Series in particular, we are spending, well, not so much the money, but the time and effort plus the money. We're lucky we were able to do a lot of it ourselves to make an old vehicle feel new again with a modern driveline. This is one of those vehicles you can drive off the showroom floor with a 5-year warranty already done. You could easily spend $100,000 making an old vehicle new again. This one comes with a 5-year warranty, it's brand new, no kilometers on the engine. So really, if you squint and stand back, they're almost good value. Right, now, before I rant and dribble on about how much, or I already have, how much I love Landcruiser and 79 series, let's do something for the haters, because there's plenty out there. And mate, Toyota have cut so many corners with the 79 over the years, and the new shape is no different. Have a look at how they have mounted these new guards. Like, they haven't brought the inner guard up, or the inner frame. They have literally just put flimsy ass thin spaces to lift the outer guard up. Like, yeah, if I did that on the 60 series, did something like that, James would be really upset and make me do it again.
If you're gonna do it once, you're gonna do it properly.
Yet Toyota do it from factory. Like, that is very ordinary. The airbox is still the standard old airbox that, you know, has been sucking in dust for the last 10 years. I mean, so they say. There's been no real update to that, and it has been a real problem ever since day dot. The starter motor is still buried down in the V of the V8, so if you do lots of water crossings, your starter motor will eventually die, and it's a whole day job just to get to the bastard, so design-wise that sucks. The alternator's right at the bottom of the motor, so again, if you do lots of water, dust, mud and dirt, yes, it's going to suffer as well. What else? There's so many things. Oh, of course, the rear track. The rear track is still 100mm narrower than the front. Now, to put that into perspective, if you were to modify a vehicle and make the track different front and rear, that vehicle would then be unroadworthy. You aren't allowed to register a vehicle like that. So how come Toyota does it from the factory? That is one of the things that actually really pisses me off, and something that I'm probably going to rectify properly this time. And that's just part of spending that bucket load of money that you do on a 79 series. So we've updated the interior with an outdated Toyota Hilux steering wheel, and the head unit, I don't know, to be off a later model Camry than what the last one was, I would say. A couple of other pieces of new tech are the adaptive cruise control and a heap of other shit. I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know whether it's got emergency braking, it's got a radar here and a camera up there, and I really don't know, and I really don't care. And most of the time I'll get in that car and turn all that shit off, probably, because it'll be beeping at me, because it's not why you buy this car. I wish they had left that technology out to a degree. So yeah, there's the technology, who cares? So I think the only few things they have really nailed in this new model is the look, which is the big change here, which I do actually really like. And our beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it. Most of all, I love that it looks different, and that's really important to me. And the dash. The dash resembles a 40 series dash perfectly, and owning a 40 series, I really appreciate that little bit of effort they've gone to. And not only that, they've actually put a trip computer in it, so there is a little bit of tech inside. And don't forget, 2 cup holders and 2 USB-C ports. That is unheard of. Like, geez, that's really brought it into the 21st century. And that's about it. Everything else is the same. It's the same 5-speed manual. It's the same narrow rear wheel track. It's the same underpowered VDJ V8. It's the same airbox that potentially sucks dust. And that's why we love it. I friggin' love this thing, and we wouldn't have it any other way. She's a pretty relaxed acceleration. That would probably be the word for it. This is no weight. It's got about an 80 kilo tray on it, and we'll get into why that is very shortly. And standard wheels. So they are right in what they say. These things are underdone as far as power is concerned, and the gears are a long way apart. So if you're towing something and you're going from first to second up a hill, if you don't rev out first quite high and get the gear change just right, you really struggle to get second into that power curve. But look, as a day-to-day vehicle, if you were going to load it pretty light, leave standard wheels and tyres on it, I actually don't see a problem with it. And the phone's ringing. Anyway, so look, it's one of those things. This is no rocket ship. It's really relaxed, but there's a reason why they detune these things, and that was for the mines, obviously. These things were designed for people to drive flat to the boards. I have worked in that kind of environment before, and I can tell you right now, never buy a mine or an X-Roads vehicle, because they just get held flat to the boards from the day people get in them to the afternoon when they get out of them. And that's what these motors are designed to do, not kill themselves, or probably kill anyone in the car, because you can't go fast enough to do it. So look, once tuned, there's so much potential. 200 series puts out 200 kilowatt and 650 newton meters of torque standard. It is exactly the same motor, albeit with one turbo. So usually the only things you hear really going wrong are the turbos. Don't push it too far, and they seem to be pretty well bulletproof. That's what we'll do. We will not leave this car standard. We will muck around with it, which is a shame because it drives beautifully at the moment. Meg's commented on how nice it rode.
So exciting, this is so beautiful, it's lovely. It's got that new car smell, it's awesome. Oh, I'm so excited.
Which a lot of people won't say that, but she's right. And I mean, it may have a little bit to do with the fact that, I'm gonna throw this, and it may have a little bit to do with the fact that we took the 40 series up to pick up the new wagon. That thing will make anything feel like it rides amazing, but it just feels solid on the road. Noise levels, I think, are fine. People really carry on about that as well. I think this is how a car should be. Righto, it has approximately 91 kilometres on it now. Let's get it home and get that first modification underway, and give you an idea of what we're going to do to this thing. Okay, so before we get into the first modification, now it's got 90 kilometres on it. We'll talk about what we are planning. Now, obviously, this is a temporary tray just to get it registered. We are going to be putting something very nice on the back. The last setup was a Triple M tray and a couple of TC boxes. Did look really good, and I was really happy with how it performed. And, you know, price versus what you get, that did actually work really well for us. However, we're going to step it up a notch this time and do something really nice and something fairly new to the market with the design, especially the electrical as well. I'm really stoked to do something, you know, and push the boundaries of what is possible. I really do love the electrical side of camping and touring and building four-wheel drives, and being able to make things work when you're far away from home. Don't forget, guys, and I'm fully aware of this, we're so far out of the needs, we're well and truly deep into the wants. And there's no pretending that anyone needs to buy any of this. This is a hobby of ours, and we've turned this passion of ours into something that we nearly do for a living, and I'm very grateful for that, and I do not take any of this for granted. So that's the first thing. It is going to not stay with this tray, obviously. We're going to be putting something very nice on here. Moving back, we are going to be upgrading the suspension. Probably will do a GVM upgrade. Look, it is cost effective. The way we're going to do it, you don't have to spend $10,000, and this will be done after registration. And there's a bit of a myth out there that it's too hard to do and too expensive to do after rego. We're going to show you how it can be done reasonably inexpensively and quite easily. Moving that down, the ute, eventually we will be doing side rails and bull bar. The bull bar will come later. There's no actual bull bars on the market as yet for these things. I think Tough Bars has done one. That's an acquired taste. I'm not really into those. Look, I actually don't mind the new ones, to be honest, but not for touring rig and to keep the weight down. So TJM, ARB are very close to releasing theirs, and I'll have a look at them when they come on market. But to be honest, I really like the look of the thing without a bull bar. And I have travelled most of this country now, and we have never, I've got no wood around, touch wood, hit a kangaroo. Now that I say that, I will hit one tomorrow. So it is one of those things, do you really, really need it? And I'm sure people who live out west will argue that yes, you definitely do. Our experience is we haven't. So we'll leave it standard at the front for as long as I can, because I do actually like the way it looks. I own a business that sells accessories for roof racks. I will not be putting a roof rack on this vehicle simply because of the noise, the weight, and we just don't need it. We're going to have a canopy on this ute. It is definitely something that will just be an accessory, not something we need. The 60 series here, however, Megan, guys, come around. The 60 series here, however, will 100% have a roof rack on it because it's a wagon, and I feel you do need that space to put dirty things, long things, and solar panels and awnings. On a wagon, a full rack makes sense. On a ute with a canopy and what we're investing into the canopy, I can't see the point in doing it. So that's my 2 bob. That's what we're going to stick with. The interior is something I'm afraid I feel you have to do something with the 70 series, which really sucks. And that's the stereo. The stereo is pitiful. You cannot hear it at 110 k's an hour on the highway. And look, the road noise in these isn't as bad as what everyone says. I don't think so anyway. So we are going to be doing door pods front and rear. We're going to be doing something a little bit different this time. I haven't seen too much on it. Usually it's cruiser console setup like what we did in the previous one, which was really good. We're going to try and do something simpler in audio setup with amps and stuff, but probably a better finish overall and more functionality. I'm looking forward to that. That is actually on its way and could be one of our first videos, we hope. So there's some of the main big things that everyone does. Along with that, we are going to do rear track correction, and we're going to do it properly this time, and we'll cover how we're going to do that. And I actually don't think that is too badly priced if you can do it DIY, and we will cover that in detail. Other few things, and we're building this ute exactly like we built the last one, with water capacity, battery capacity, electrical charging capacity, and diesel and long range touring in mind. So all those things will be upgraded. We'll have bigger tanks for diesel, we'll have around 100 litres of water, and we're going to have a massive battery and charging capacity along with an upright fridge, which will, after having a chest fridge for a long time, I can see Megan smiling. She will be happy about that, as will I. Functionality wise, it will be so much better.
More room for my wine.
Oh no, that's not necessarily a good thing for anyone watching, but it's one of those things. We're going to be using this vehicle more and more in a work purpose, as in, you know, what we love and want to do in life is finally what we are doing for work to a degree. So it needs to work for us in that respect. It's not all about just having the latest and greatest, although I do enjoy that too, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so as with the last 79 series I had wheels and tyres here ready to go on the day I got home. This one's no different, and if a car needed wheels and tyres more than this one, I haven't found it. This thing is just going to look awesome in my eyes with that crazy front end and a really good set of wheels and tyres, and they're just there, one sitting on the 60 series. Let's have a look. Well, here they are, guys. We've gone away from the old steel wheels, and I know I used to say steel wheels are the safest option for off-road. To a degree, I still believe that, but it was time to just put something nice on, and ROH are a good quality alloy wheel, and that's probably the main thing, is to stay with a good quality wheel. Alloys are more sensitive to wheel nut torque than a steel wheel, and that's why I've always really liked steel wheels. However, these will balance a lot nicer. The steel wheels, I did have dramas with balancing occasionally. So that's why we've gone for the alloys. To be honest, Megan was adamant I wasn't allowed to put steel wheels on this one, and I'm glad I listened to her because they look friggin' amazing. Of course, we got these from the Wheel Deal. They were great sponsors with our last vehicle and have been a great sponsor of our channel ever since we nearly started. They've been on board with us for a long time. They've come on board again and supplied an ROH Assault and a Mickey Thompson Barger MT. We've gone for a mud terrain tyre this time. Again, I'm not going to lie, I love the look of it. I'm a sucker. And yes, when they get really half worn, they're going to be noisy. But for what we use this vehicle for, which is not a day-to-day vehicle, who cares? These look friggin' awesome. Okay, so you might be wondering why I've got 2 full sets of wheels and tyres here. These are for a good mate of mine that ordered through the Wheel Deal at the same time I did. We got them delivered to the same address, and that is the beauty of what the Wheel Deal can offer. They are whatever wheel and tyre combo you want delivered to your door. Go onto their website and check it out. There's probably a picture of your vehicle with the wheels you want, or very close to it. They have a massive gallery. And don't forget to use Smart Touring Systems as a discount code and receive 5% off. 5% may not sound like a lot, but when you're talking anywhere from $2,000 up to $7,000 for a really premium wheel and tyre package, it is going to save you a little bit, guys. Without further ado, let's get these wheels and tyres on and see if they actually fit. I'm a little bit skeptical. Well, if you want to know exactly how we got these wheels and tyres to fit on a brand new model 79 Series Landcruiser, head over to STS Garage where we have fully detailed it. And yes, we made a few mistakes along the way, so you guys don't have to. It is achievable, and it does look neat once finished. So for now, let's take a look at the finished product, and I'm pumped with how these wheels and tyres turned out on the new shape 79 Series. Well, that was easy, fitting wheels and tyres, and that's how modifying cars go. Nothing's ever that simple. I did have a hunch that I would have to trim that front guard, and look, it's really not that big a thing to be scared of, guys. And it's something you can do at home, and it come up nice and neat in the end. You don't see any of that horrendous stuff underneath. No, it was fine. So that's the 79 Series, that's why we bought it, that's what we're going to do with it, and we friggin' love these things, and we're excited for the adventures to come this year. Well, we haven't named him yet, but by the next time you see it, we'll have a name for it. We name friggin' every car we own. Don't forget, guys, you only live once. Get out there and enjoy it in whatever car you want, whatever one you love. See you next time.